Okay, so getting your driver's license, it's a huge milestone, right? But let's be honest, with so many driving schools out there, how do you know you're picking the right one? How do you find the one that's going to do more than just teach you to pass a test, but actually teach you how to be a safe driver for life? All right, let's dive in and figure out what the gold standard of driver education really is.
So, first things first, we need to talk about the stakes here. Because when it comes to new drivers, the margin for error is incredibly small. And the consequences? They're devastatingly real. This isn't just a simple learning curve. We're talking about a persistent and, frankly, a deadly public safety challenge.
So, what's with this number? 8x. Well, get this. During their first 6 months of driving all by themselves, new drivers are a staggering 8 times more likely to be involved in a fatal crash. 8 times. And this isn't just about fumbling with the pedals or mirrors, it's deeper. It's often about an underdeveloped ability to spot and react to hazards, a cognitive skill that the best training targets directly.
And if you zoom out, the broader data paints an even starker picture. 2023 had the highest number of traffic deaths in Canada in 10 years. And young drivers, they are consistently tragically overrepresented in these numbers. Then there's the financial side. The average insurance claim for a young driver is a whopping $8,600.
So, all of this leads us to the big question, right? When you're faced with numbers like these, with so much at stake, how do we actually give new drivers the skills they need not just to survive, but to really thrive on the road for their entire lives? Well, the answer, it seems, is to look way beyond just the bare minimum requirements. It's about setting the bar higher, defining what a true gold standard for driver education really looks like, a clear benchmark we can all use. And here's the core idea, the big shift. The goal of a top-tier program isn't just about checking off boxes to get a license. We're talking about a total shift in philosophy. It's all about building these proactive, almost instinctual defensive driving habits that stick with you for life. So, after digging into all the research, we can really boil this gold standard down to 4 key pillars. These are the things that are just non-negotiable: the quality of the curriculum, the expertise of the instructors, the smart use of modern tech, and maybe the most important one, proven real-world results. Let's see what that actually looks like. Okay, so to really get what these pillars look like in action, we're going to do a bit of a case study. We're going to look inside Young Drivers of Canada, a school that, time and again in independent reports, comes up as a prime example of this gold standard. And right off the bat, you can see that huge difference in philosophy. See, the standard way is all reactive. It's about teaching the basic rules so you can pass a test. But the gold standard? It's proactive. It's designed from the very beginning to literally rewire how a new driver thinks, sees, and reacts, all to create collision-free habits. And you can see this proactive mindset baked right into the curriculum. We're talking way beyond just parallel parking. It's a system like their collision-free approach, teaching specific habits for seeing trouble before it starts. It even includes cognitive training through a partnership with Cognifit, which literally uses brain training games to sharpen things like your attention and reaction time, plus dedicated lessons for real-world emergencies that most basic programs just skip over. And a true gold standard program has to embrace innovation. These days, the most effective training doesn't just stop the second you get out of the car. Technology is an absolutely crucial tool for practicing skills and building real confidence. Take, for instance, an AI-powered app like the YD Drivers Coach. This basically puts a driving coach right in your pocket 24/7. It gives you unlimited practice for the written test, it can simulate the road test to help calm your nerves, and even offers specialized little courses on demand. This is what modern, tech-savvy learning looks like. But of course, all the tech in the world is just a tool, right? At the heart of any great program, you've got the people, the instructors. Their quality, their training, their consistency, it's all absolutely fundamentally critical. So the top tier schools, they don't just scrape by with the minimum provincial requirements. No way. They blow past them. We're talking about things like mandatory recertification every single year, ongoing professional development, and a standardized method so that every student gets the same high-quality one-on-one coaching. Okay, so a deep curriculum, cool tech, top-notch instructors. It all sounds really impressive, right? But here's the million-dollar question. Does it actually work? Does all of this create safer drivers out there on the road? Let's look at the results. Well, here's the number that really says it all. A big analysis by Aviva Canada found that drivers who went through a certified professional training program had 26% fewer collisions. Think about that. A 26% drop in collisions, that is a huge deal for road safety. And this quote right here, it just nails the whole point. It's not about that one-time win of passing a test. It's about the long game, consistently driving safer with fewer risks on real roads. And the big insurance companies, they see this in their data, year in and year out. So when you take everything we've talked about and score it using that four-pillar framework, the difference is, well, it's pretty stark. In a detailed assessment, Young Drivers of Canada scored over 87 out of 100. The average for their regional competitors, just over 64. That's a massive gap, and it really shows you the difference between a standard program and the true gold standard. All right, so we've defined this gold standard. We've seen what it looks like in the real world, but what does all this mean for you, or for your kid, or anyone you know who's about to learn to drive? How can you actually use this info? It means that now you have the right questions to ask. You can walk into any driving school armed with this knowledge. So don't just ask about the price or the schedule. Go deeper. Ask them how their instructors get recertified. Ask if they teach proactive cognitive skills, not just the rules of the road. Ask what specific emergency maneuvers they cover. Ask about their tech. And this is the big one. Ask them to show you the proof, the evidence of their safety record. And all this really brings us to one last big thought. When you see the data and you understand the risks and you see the proven benefits of a much higher standard of training, it kind of makes you wonder, right? Why is this level of training the exception and not the rule? Shouldn't this be the bare minimum for every single new driver hitting our roads? It's definitely something to think about.